Mr. Booth, I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you go to Nautilus for middle school?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry to see you there. I always wondered what happened to you, sir.
Oh my goodness.
In Florida, it was the dramatic moment a judge and a convicted felon recognized they went to middle school together and had been friends.
This is the nicest kid in middle school.
Oh my goodness.
He was the best kid in middle school. I used to play football with him, all the kids, and look what has happened. I'm so sorry.
Oh my goodness.
The surprise reunion between Mindy Glazer and Arthur Booth is tough to watch.
Oh my goodness.
As a child, Booth was a promising student and well-liked, but he fell into drugs, gambling addictions, petty crimes, and time in prison.
Oh my goodness.
Good luck to you, sir. I hope you're able to come out of this okay and just lead a lawful life.
Now, 10 years after this, the update is inspiring. More on that in a moment.
Stand up and raise your right hand to be sworn, please. Please stand up.
On June 30th, 2015, Judge Mindy Glazer was overseeing hearings in the Miami-Dade Bond Court.
The one sleeping there, you can wake up too in the back row.
Over several hours, she saw dozens of defendants.
I have a few announcements. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent all defendants unless you tell me you have money to pay for a private lawyer or if you are hiring a private lawyer and one is here. Also, please let me know if you have served in the United States military or any of the reserves. Good morning.
Good morning.
The defendants stepped in and sometimes quickly stepped out.
You were arrested for second-degree murder.
I'm in the military, Your Honor.
You are?
Then, 49-year-old Arthur Booth.
Hi, Mr. Booth. How are you?
How you doing, ma'am? Okay, ma'am.
Booth was a career criminal. He had been charged with burglary, grand theft, fleeing, and resisting arrest.
You have actually 3 arrest affidavits. Reckless driving, damage to property, leaving the scene of a crash with serious injury.
With no serious injury.
I'm sorry, no serious injury.
Okay.
After questioning, Judge Glazer explained the terms of his bond.
The bond on count 1 is $7,500.
But the judge noticed something familiar about Arthur Booth.
F15 13303. Okay, Mr. Booth, I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you go to Nautilus for middle school?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry to see you there. I always wondered what happened to you, sir.
Oh my goodness.
This is the nicest kid in middle school.
Oh my goodness.
He was the best kid in middle school. I used to play football with him, all the kids, and look what has happened. I'm so sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Mr. Booth, I hope you're able to change your ways. Good luck to you.
Oh my goodness.
What's sad is how old we've become.
Oh my goodness.
Good luck to you, sir. I hope you're able to come out of this okay and just lead a lawful life.
Booth was sent to prison for 10 months and then went into a drug treatment program. Upon his release, his family was there to greet him, and so was Judge Glazer.
Take care of your family, try and get a job, stay clean. You're going to do something good for somebody else. That's what you got to do.
The judge gave him some tough love advice.
It's a group effort to see you succeed. Don't let us down.
I won't. I promise not to.
I promise not to let you down. Well, here's the update. Arthur Booth has kept his promise. For the last 10 years, Mr. Booth has stayed away from gambling and drugs. He has not been charged or arrested or had any run-ins with police on anything. These days, Arthur Booth works as a manager of a successful Florida pharmaceutical company. He travels, owns his own house, and is still in touch with Judge Mindy Glazer. He says her words 10 years ago changed his life. Those changes began quickly. You see, soon after the encounter with Judge Glazer in court, Mr. Booth apologized to the victims of his burglaries and started making amends. Now, by all accounts, Arthur Booth is a model citizen. If there is one takeaway from this story, it's that in life, it's never too late for any of us to change. We are all a product of our choices. And while no one can control everything in life, we all have the power to choose how we react to certain situations. Arthur Booth is an inspiration to all of us. Yes, he needed to hear from someone who believed in him, but in the end, he took responsibility for his own life and turned it around. So kudos to Arthur Booth, Judge Mindy Glazer, and everybody who recognizes that all of us have the power to take action, change for the better, and keep it going. By the way, in Texas, a civil rights lawyer is trouncing a city council for trampling on free speech.
I don't give a what you think. The law is right. You escort me out, I'll sue you as well, Mr. Mayor. Do whatever you want. This is the law right here.
In Aransas Pass, Texas, that is Attorney C.J. Grisham educating city officials on free speech.
If these chiefs come out here and pull me out of this meeting, you had better read this, chief, because he's telling you to break the law.
Mayor, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Mayor, you can take him
Now,
out.
where'd that coward Kerry Scruggs go?
You go out.
Where'd the coward Kerry Scruggs go?
Take him out.
Is my
Take him
3
out.
minutes
No.
up?
You're gone.
What am I gone for? What am I gone for? No, his rules and decorum violate the law.
Goodbye. You're going to go to jail for
Oh, you're going to arrest me? Oh, you're going to arrest me? Okay, so under the threat of arrest, you just filed.
All right. Okay.
Grisham is now suing the city on behalf of his client, Jason Followell. City leaders also trampled on Followell's constitutional rights.
Will you? I don't give a crap what you say. You can.
Okay, now.
There it is again.
I can talk like
we
that.
go.
It's a First Amendment right.
Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular is from Mitter237, who wrote, "I love this. Public officials all over this country have forgotten who they work for. We, the people." Indeed, and oftentimes local government officials are the most tyrannical and unhinged. I look forward to reading your comments about the good news from Florida involving Arthur Booth and Judge Mindy Glazer. I'm David Schuster. Thanks for joining us. Racial profiling gets defeated. Hello everybody, David Schuster here. It doesn't happen very often, but on occasion, the racism in our police and justice system gets shredded. That has happened a few times recently in Texas, thanks to a judge named David Fleischer. He serves on the Harris County Criminal Court. Watch.
Good morning, Mr. McLean. Sir, you're charged with interference with the duties of a public servant. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Yes, sir. An officer initiated a traffic stop in Harris County, Texas, after observing the defendant exceed a speed limit of 45 miles per hour and make unsafe lane changes. The defendant did not have his driver's license, but told the officer his name and date of birth. While the officer was running the defendant's name, he observed the defendant exit his vehicle, and the officer told the defendant to get back inside the vehicle. And the defendant responded, "Do I have to?" The officer exited the vehicle and attempted to detain the defendant. The defendant tensed up and locked his arms.
Everything is conclusory. What has he done wrong? What?
It was the initial lane changes, unsafe lane changes, and the exceeding the speed limit that prompted the stop. And then at that point, he was just attempting to get
Stop.
information.
How exceeding speed limit? How fast was he going? I mean,
I spoke to the officer this morning, who told me that he was pacing the defendant at 54 miles per hour.
okay, in a what?
I'm sorry?
In a what? I mean, if it's on 610, he's fine, right? And then he's interference duties. What is he interfering with? What did he do wrong?
I think it was after the stop was initiated, the officer was running the plates. The defendant stepped out of his vehicle. The officer told him to get back in the vehicle. The defendant said, "Do I have to?" The officer told me that.
And that's the basis of arrest?
See how it
Can I
was,
speak,
Your Honor.
please?
Don't. Are you losing?
No, sir.
Okay.
And Your Honor, furthermore, as he was attempting to detain him, he locked his arms and tensed up. So as he was attempting to detain him, following that incident of him telling him to get back in the vehicle. And it was
That's
that,
the basis for arrest.
it was just a
Walking
temporary
while black?
detention. He was just attempting to detain him while he was trying to
What's he
investigate.
doing wrong?
He had
What's he doing wrong?
65.
No, I don't think so. Mm-mm. We can find no probable cause. No, it's just, he gets out of the car and then it just the virtue of fact, him getting out in the car is interfering with the duties. Really? No, just when you get into, just be careful out there, man.
Yes, sir.
Life is hard as it is.
Sir.
When you get into, gotta be careful, man.
Yes, sir.
People always have to get you. Be nice. It's not hard.
I was
Things
being
will go well for you,
respectful to
Look, I got it. I'm with you, okay? Just hang tight with me for a second, okay? All right.
The judge threw out the case, and the video of Judge Fleischer admonishing prosecutors and showing compassion to Mr. McLean has gone viral. And it's just one of several cases the judge has memorably thrown out because police and prosecutors disregarded a defendant's constitutional rights. In October, the judge delivered a victory for a black defendant facing charges of marijuana possession. Judge Fleischer quickly dismissed the case due to a lack of probable cause, and then he chided both the police and the prosecutors for bringing the case in the first place, suggesting the man's arrest had clearly stemmed from walking while black. In a similar case in June, Judge Fleischer dismissed charges against another black man who was arrested after police saw him walking through a park when it was closed. Officers spotted the man and chased him. During the chase, police saw a handgun fall from the man's waistband. Eventually, police caught the guy and charged him with evading arrest and unlawfully carrying of a weapon. But in court, Judge Fleischer found no probable cause to suspect the man had committed a crime. Here's the rub. What's he doing? Said the judge. Walking while black? All I see is that they go up to him and they just start searching. Judge Fleischer, who is known for being both soft-spoken and tough as nails, has told media reporters that he's simply doing his job, standing up for the Constitution and providing transparency. Along the way, the public is getting a compelling education on issues like probable cause. Under the U.S. Constitution and Supreme Court case law, police officers are required to have a legitimate reason for suspecting illegal activity before carrying out a search or arrest. The skin color, age, ethnicity, or gender are not legitimate reasons. In many states, police are required to have a reasonable, articulable suspicion that a crime has been committed, is being committed, or is about to be committed. Walking or driving while black is not a reasonable, articulable suspicion. However, some police and prosecutors try to get around that by hoping potential defendants do not know their rights or waive them. And in those cases, the last chance for justice can rest with a judge. And many judges do not probe the alleged evidence or facts of the case with the same determination as Judge David Fleischer. In Texas, criminal court judges are elected to their position. Judge Fleischer, who first became a lawyer in 2004 and practiced as a criminal defense attorney, was first elected judge in 2018. He won re-election in 2022, and he will be up for re-election in 2026. The Democrat is making about half as much money as a judge as he was earning in private practice. But he says his mission to help reform the justice system has been worth it. On top of his rulings from the bench, the judge has been involved in efforts to reform the bail bond system and boost public safety. There is something special about all public servants who work for the greater good. But Judge David Fleischer is truly unique. He is fearlessly standing up for the rule of law and demanding that all police and prosecutors respect and honor a defendant's constitutional rights. As we've seen in countless cases and videos on this channel, a lot of defendants watch their rights get trampled by overzealous and sometimes tyrannical cops. And our justice system does not always do such a great job of correcting illegal or unlawful police behavior. Thankfully, though, there are some judges who are pushing back. Kudos to David Fleischer and other jurists like him who understand that our justice system relies on equality, fairness, and respect for the Constitution. Racism may be an institutional problem in law enforcement, but with each ruling by David Fleischer and other admirable judges like him, America takes a step towards true fairness and decency. I'm David Schuster. Thanks for joining us.
If you enjoyed this video, that's because of our members. They make us independent, they make us strong, and they make us honest. Become a member today by hitting the join button below.